consumers. So user research can be achieved through a number of processes like interviews, surveys, usability evaluations, usability testing, and other forms of feedback methodologies. Um, I'd like to talk about now. I'm going to be using the word user research and user experience research interchangeably. But when you're researching, you're not just researching for trying to get you to know your users. You're trying to get to know how to make the experience on your product better. So that's why I'll be using those terms interchangeably. Now, what is the importance of user research or user experience research? The importance is your internal team members are too familiar with this product. They are the ones building it, they know it from day one, so they have their biases towards it, and they are going to be sentimental. So when you need objective feedback, you use user research. And another importance of it is intuition-based UI may conflict with customer condition. You as an experienced designer, you'll be looking at one experienced developer, you look at these products from the more technical angle, not so much the consumer angle. And it's just the way it's an allocational hazard, sadly. So you are looking at things that, oh, is the alignment right? That's what you're looking at. Is the alignment right? Sizing, all of that. You're looking at technical stuff. But for you to create a successful product, users have to be satisfied. Your customers have to be satisfied. So your intuition-based UI may conflict with what the user needs or what the user is expecting. And then there's also your biases and prejudice, which is another importance of UX research. So when you get objective feedback from the market, your target audience, you're able to overlook, you can't overlook your biases, but then you're able to look outside yourself to get what users really need from your product. And the last importance that I like to highlight about UX research is um, something might look nice, but it might not necessarily be what someone needs, what the market needs. Just because your fintech app or whatever app you're creating looks nice doesn't mean that I can get from point A to point B. Now, for you to make sure that the experience is amazing on your product, you need to be able to take into consideration what your market needs, and the way to get that is through user experience research. And the next thing I'd like to talk about is the types of, or the major types. There are different types for the major types of um, user experience research. They are actually two: moderated and automated. Now, for moderated user research or user experience research, what you're looking at is you're looking for qualitative data, not quantitative data. And what that means is you're not looking for numbers essentially. You're trying to get insights, context on how they behave and why they interact with your product in the way that they do. Just to make it easier to understand. If I put out the survey, I can ask direct questions and get direct answers. That's most times you get quantitative data from surveys. But if I really want to know, okay, why are people not using this feature on the app? It's not really numbers I'm looking for, it's emotions I'm looking for. And the best way to achieve that is through interviews. The best way to achieve moderated user research is through interviews. So what happens is you as the moderator of a user of a moderated user research experience, what you do is you basically get your participants who will be like people that are supposed to use this product or people that the product is for. You get a couple of them together and then you just ask them questions. Okay, why do you like this, or what do you want from this product? And then they get to tell you how they feel or what they want, and you get context pretty much and insight on how your customers are behaving and why they are behaving in a certain way. Um, on a huge part of moderated user research, something that will really keep you in check to make sure that you don't go off the rail. Say I'm doing a moderated user research for a dating app. So instead of just letting someone go off on a tangent when what I really need is, okay, what is your dating experience or your online dating experience? Instead of just letting them go on a tangent of all the bad dates they've had, having something called a user interview guide will really help keep things in check. So when the person is talking about something else, you're able to draw them back. Okay, this is what I need answers to, and you can basically it's a list of questions or tasks that you need to accomplish. A user interview guide is a list of tasks that you need to accomplish within a user research interview. So that is moderated research for qualitative data, not quantitative data. Now, for automated user research, what you are usually looking for is quantitative data, so numbers. It's you asking people, okay, how would you rate your experience uh, on this product? How would you rate your experience? How many times a day do you use this product? So it's more numbers related. You are not really looking for people's emotions per se. You are just looking for numbers. What's the churn rate? What's the retention rate? How many people are you able to keep within a certain period of time? Or how many new users you have and stuff like that. That's what you're looking for in automated user research. And the best tool for doing this is usually surveys. Yeah, surveys are the best ways of getting automated user research now. So those are the two major types: automated and moderated. Now, for usability testing, usability testing is a term in product development as a whole that you have to you come across it definitely in your product life cycle at some point. You have to, especially if you are working on agile methodology or you're working with agile methodology. Usability testing is going to be key because agile methodology is based on the idea of constantly iterating. Now, you don't iterate based on your feelings or your opinion on the product. You iterate based on people's experience on your product. And now, usability testing is a way to get objective feedback within a control group. So, pretty much it's the practice of testing how easy your design is to use with a representative group of users. So there's something for UI UX designers. You might have heard the term 5 second rule or 5 second testing. And usability, it's a form of usability testing where UI designers will take their design to just random people and give them 5 seconds to look at a mock-up or a wireframe. And we'll give them 5 seconds to look at the wireframe and um, just you do something, you give them 5 seconds, and then you want to know what they think this is about or what they think this app or this product is supposed to be. And you don't give them context, you just show them and then give them 5 seconds to look at it and then can they figure out what it is? That's how you know if your design is easy to use or your product that you want to build is easy to use. So yeah, so usability testing sessions, the moderator asks the participants to perform specific tasks, usually using one or more specific user interface. So you show them the UI, give them a couple of minutes to look at it, or if you are using 5 second rule, you give them 5 seconds to look at it and just let them tell you what to do. And if they can't tell you the answer you are looking for, it means something is wrong. You need to iterate on that design or that mock-up and be like, okay, if someone can easily tell, if the layman can easily tell, that means it's going to be a problem when it gets to the market. It's going to be too complicated to use. So usability testing is a way to assure ease of use. Um, there are a couple of usability testing methods, one of which I just spoke about, which is the 5 second rule. Show them for 5 seconds and let them tell you what they think it is. Another way of doing it is the gorilla testing. So gorilla testing is basically you go to a random place, maybe a restaurant, a coffee shop, and you take your prototype. For people that are more IT related, your prototype is going to be an MVP. As your minimum viable product. It might just be the sketch of the app, the app with basic features, pretty much. And you take it there, you let these random people just use it and tell you what they think about the app. And you take their feedback and you're able to iterate on what you already have to make it better, more efficient product. Another way of doing usability testing is through phone interviews. Um, this is more useful when you're trying to get like a wide variety of participants for your testing. So if you're trying to, if it's an international product, a product that you're expecting international users, phone interviews are way better. So you're able to access people that are not really within your geographic location. Gorilla testing won't work here because you need to do that within your geographic location, people you can physically reach. But with phone interviews, you can just make a couple of calls, ask people about what they think, and get their feedback. Um, then there's 5 second test, which I talked about. Show them for 5 seconds and let them tell you what they think it is, and you're able to iterate if they can't give you the answers you're looking for. Then there's the first click. Here, you as the moderator, you give them the product, You let them look through it, and then you give them a specific task to do. Say it's a shopping app. Let's say I was the product manager for Jumia. I would take the Jumia app, give it to some person that has never experienced that app before, and then just tell them, okay, I need you to buy this specific thing on this app without giving them guidance. Just by yourself, try to figure out how you're going to buy something on this app. And if they can't figure it out on the first go, it means your app is not easy to you need to iterate. You need to ask them, okay, what made this confusing? What could be changed to make this easier for you to use? And that's the first click test. So um, I think those are the more common forms of usability testing, and you can go ahead and do your research, figure out which other ones exist and which ones you would like to test out. Because I believe we're all techies here, and you will be working on some product or another, whether internally in the company or outside the company. So usability testing, user research, these are tools that will help you build the perfect product that people want, not what you want, but what people will buy. So, in conclusion, I would just like to give us a few tips if we are um, thinking of maybe using user research for our next product or improving our user research methods in our next product. So, the first thing you want to do if you are considering this is choose a research method based on what you want to find out. If I'm looking for quantitative data, for example, I know I need an automated testing method that suits what I need. Okay, so if I'm looking for churn rate, I need an automated testing method, a survey that suits the product that I'm doing this test on. So the next thing you need to do after you find your research method is to select a tool or service that best supports your research goals. Say for example, I want to know the amount of people that click on my site and where they click on that site, like what parts of the site they click on. So hotspots, as they say, on my site. I want to use a product like there's something called SEMrush, which it's a product that it's like an extension you attach to your site at the back end of the site, and it will pretty much tell you where people are clicking on your site, what's the hotspots on your site.
Okay,
So
sorry, time
I
is
want to use
up.
a product.
The time is up. So
Okay.
sorry about that.
Uh, can I get me just conclude?
All right, it's okay.
All right. So once you find the best tool, the next thing you need to do is to um, create or find your methods of screening your participants, find the right participants for your research. And after that, you design your interview guide so you don't get out off track and you just get the tasks that you need from that interview done. Then lastly, you want to conduct your research session after you've done all the necessary steps. You conduct a research session, and if you need to pay incentives to your team, make sure you do that to make sure there's no discrepancy. And always remember, after your user research, you need to summarize your findings because there's no point in doing all of this if you're not going to gather your findings, discuss them with your team, and iterate with them. I'll just like to leave everyone with a quote by Stephen D. Levitt, and it says, "Don't listen to what people say, watch what they do." People can tell you your product is good, but are they buying it? That's the most important thing. So, I think that'll be all. Thank you guys for listening.
Okay, thank you very much. Or do I add